Please welcome Charlie Wilson. Hi, everybody. The other day, I was watching my youngest daughter play with matches. And I was thinking, what kind of father am I? She's 25. And she's just starting to play with matches. Did I provide her enough of a rich childhood experience like I had? I mean, for example, my brother and I got a hold of a 23,000 volt spark coil from an old car. And as 10-year-old boys, all we knew was that although unforgettable, touching it would not kill you. Probably wouldn't kill you. It hadn't killed anyone we knew. And since we didn't have a car or a conscience, the best thing we could do was connect it to a door handle and wait. The first time you hear the sound someone makes when they grab that handle is unforgettable. And you have to open the door to see if they're still alive. But eventually you learn it's better just to run. My little sister was 4 years younger. But have you seen those videos where it takes like 4 or 5 orderlies to subdue somebody who's on drugs? Well, 23,000 volts will turn your little sister into a little meth addict. High voltage is all fun and games until somebody needs stitches from jumping out a window trying to escape the victim. Or as we called her, Sparky. So in CPR training, there's a doll named Resuscita Annie, and they use it to teach you how to give somebody CPR. Well, my brother could have been the Raggedy Andy of stitches, because just while he was in 6th grade, he had stitches in his knee from a bike ramp that he made too well. He got stitches in his backside from whitewater rafting in a Volkswagen inner tube, and stitches in his head from hunting bats in a cave. So, in contrast, my daughter got her stitches from bumping her head on a coffee table during a wild episode of Sesame Street. Okay, back to my childhood. Okay, so this is going to sound a lot like arson and extortion, but it's mostly just arson. My entrepreneurial older brother sold my little sister 50 firecrackers that we took apart to make a skyrocket. That's the extortion. The arson was caused by launching the thing in the windiest day in spring. So the rocket turned 90 degrees after it caught the wind, shot across the canyon into a field of dry grass, burst into flames. My sister's gunpowder caused this huge fire, which was our worst nightmare, right? But in a more frightening way, it was also our wildest dream. It was this giant team-building exercise. It brought together the entire neighborhood with chainsaws, rakes, and shovels. When the fire department arrived, they thanked us for helping them put it out. And my mom was so proud until she put all the pieces together. So when my daughter was in 6th grade, she had this ant farm. And those ants do some crazy stuff. So my brother built this 28-foot wingspan hang glider so he could fly across the canyon behind our house. And my parents were there, physically. But what were they thinking? I can't wait to see my son dangling from bamboo and sheets of plastic wrap that were glued together by a 13-year-old. My dad even brought a coworker with him. Because, who doesn't want to see a human sacrifice? Okay, so the cockpit is these two bamboo poles that go under your armpits, and your legs are the landing gear. We found this perfect runway across the canyon where a skyrocket fire had burned a hole in the brush. I got about 15 feet off the ground before the thing crumpled to the ground and was destroyed. But, my dad commented later how glad he was that I crashed before I went over the canyon. He recognized the risk, right? But he let it be my poor decision. Because we had good insurance. Everything's different now. Parents don't let their kids take the bus by themselves 30 miles across the bay to San Francisco to buy fireworks from gangs in Chinatown. If a dad comes home and he sees a giant glider sitting in the driveway, he's not thinking, the guys at work are going to love this. So, those misadventures shaped our lives, though. And, I think about, would my sister have gone into finance had she not seen her modest investment in a simple skyrocket grow into a 3-alarm grass fire? And would my brother have become a chemical engineer if it weren't, chemical engineer at fixing gas prices at a major oil company, if it weren't for the gunpowder, nitroglycerin, and extortion in his childhood? And without my early exposure to electricity, would I have become an avid stamp collector? Or would my ex-wife have been able to convince me that it was a good idea to make toast in the bathtub? Would I have been able to save those 50 orphans from the playground fire? I worry about the kids today. Thank you.